Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Honeya here to give you your notes for sleep. Now, I know many of you probably feeling tired right now, but I want you all to get through this as quickly and painless as possible. Rather than doing notes, you have a set of questions that you will have to answer, and you will get through listening to this PowerPoint. Without further ado, let's get it. Let's make it happen. All right. Why am I so tired? That is going to be the big question that we're going to ask today. Many of you have probably have noticed a lot of changes in your sleep as opposed to when you were little as to how you are now. And we are going to be answering those questions. So, one of the reasons you're so tired is basically puberty's effect on sleep. So, what puberty actually does is it actually causes changes in your circadian rhythm. Now, your circadian rhythm is your body's natural clock. You are naturally hardwired to fall asleep at certain times, and you're naturally hardwired to wake up at certain times. And oftentimes, if you do this regularly enough, you will fall into a circadian rhythm. So, for example, if you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night on a Monday and then get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, go to bed at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday and get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, and you do this every day for a week, chances are when the next Monday rolls around, if you haven't made any changes, you will naturally fall asleep around 10 o'clock and then naturally wake up around 6. And that's kind of what your circadian rhythm is. Now, teenagers are actually hardwired to get sleepy around 11 p.m. When you go through puberty and you have those changes in their circadian rhythm, oftentimes you'll find that you can easily stay up late. Just killing time. You just don't feel sleepy. You might want to be on the phone playing the game, being on the social medias, doing all that sort of stuff. And while those things can interfere with your ability to get to sleep, naturally you're just hardwired to get sleepy around 11 p.m. Now, teenagers are actually supposed to get around 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. So if you think about it, 11 p.m., if you're thinking 8 hours at the least, that's going to put you at wanting to wake up around 7, 7, 8 o'clock. And then 10 hours at the most, we're looking at 9 o'clock. So, it's one of those things that thinking about when you get hardwired to get to sleep versus how many hours of sleep you need. Is there a conflict there? And that is actually something we'll discuss. But one of the big things that happens when you don't get enough sleep is that you have slower processing and recall, which, it's one of those things where, like, for example, if you're in class and you're having issue processing the information, recalling the information, that's one thing, but also thinking about the standpoint of processing and recall and things of nature when you're out and about, maybe operating a vehicle. If you can't don't have the fast reaction times that you typically have, you run the risk of getting in accidents, which I've actually highlighted a little bit lower. Um, Not getting enough sleep also increases the risk of depression and anxiety, and also runs the risk of mood swings. So, a lot of your emotions actually do fall in line with your sleep. And then finally, especially with teenagers, there are heavy amounts of drowsy driving incidents. In some cases, people have even compared accidents from not getting enough sleep comparable to that of drunk driving. So it's one of those things where it is a big issue because people fall asleep at the wheel and it's really really dangerous. So it's one of those things that we want to consider to make sure that you do end up doing is getting enough sleep. At the end of the day, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that we have issues with not having enough sleep? Whose fault is it that we have issues with or not drunk, but the drowsy driving? And there's actually been a study related to teenager sleep. One of the big things that is actually happening now is that people are actually writing to school boards and state superintendents requesting that they actually push start times back for school, especially in high school. So they're saying that, instead of teenagers starting school at like 8:30 in the morning, push that start time back. So that way, they have that time to get the amount of sleep they need. Because some of y'all do get up really early and get on the bus. When y'all get on the bus, y'all have to go ride to school, and obviously the quality of sleep you could get just sleeping on the bus probably isn't going to be that great. But there are people who are writing towards pushing back start time so you guys do have the amount of time to get enough sleep. And then so that way, naturally you can fall in to that circadian rhythm and manage to get the proper amount of sleep while still being able to attend school and be 100% focused throughout the day. So, hopefully you got all of your questions answered. The final question is the final thing for the assignments. So considering all the things that affect our schedules, the busing, the school start times, after school activities, write a short letter, 1 to 2 paragraphs, to our school superintendent about some changes that Rock Hill schools could make to allow teenagers to get more sleep and do well in class. So it's not enough just like pushing back the start time. What else could we do that would allow us to get more sleep and do better in class? So considering everything from the busing to the start times to the after school activities, consider it all. This is going to really be an assignment that's going to be looking at one, making sure that you complete the assignment, making sure that you have those 1 to 2 paragraphs in letter format, and then also making sure that you put a little thought into it, not just something as simple as reiterating the information that I have given you. But that is all you have right now for today. When you finish this little notes section, there's a sleep module, which you guys will do. And it's just a very simple module. It's like 3 little assignments. You do them, you knock them out. Obviously, that's going to be 300s added to your grades. And you have 2 days to complete them. So take care, make sure to get enough sleep, and stay safe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.